I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I'm on it.
Hey, freak show! You're going nowhere!
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome back, kids and coaches, to another episode of West of Nowhere. I am Levi, and I'm alone. What's new? No. Shane had to pick up a watch, so he will not be joining me today, but there is no but. That's just what's happening. So, you know, you live and you learn, kind of, right? I don't think that phrase works for that, but it's okay, because I'm here to give you some stuff, some things that are happening, right? And other stuff maybe also too. So we have a decent show, I think. I mean, I'm gonna tell you some stuff, and you're gonna listen, and you're gonna freaking like it. That's aggressive. That's a really aggressive way to start that. Before I get too far along, I'm going to thank our Patreon people: Adam Pacino, Tony Burgess, Miles Glenn, Sam Norton, Natalie Tacarante, Daddy Warbucks, Mark Stadler, his loving and adoring wife, Chantel Stadler, and the Master of Media, Kelly Gankwish, and Colton Zemmersla, and Jeremy Bradley. So yeah, if you want to be one of those people, go to the link wherever it is, and it's in the description. I know that for sure. And then you can find the link to the Patreon, and then you can go from there. Be a subscriber if you would like to. You don't have to. I mean, it's up to you. Whatever you're into. We appreciate it. If you don't want to be a Patreon person, click the link anyway. Go find where we post the YouTube. You can subscribe on YouTube for free. Don't have to pay us any money. Like and subscribe there. Boost the algorithm. Do all the things. We appreciate it. So, gonna read some comments from the last episode's YouTube posting. So, because that's what we do, man. So we have Kylie in the comments, deep in the comments, as per usual, because that's what she does. She's the master of media. She's in there. She's in the trenches, being masterful in the media. So her first comment is in all caps, so feel free to listen to this in a yelling tone. Chantel, congratulations on being a member of the Patreon, and then the party emojis. So also, yeah. Thank you, Chantel, for being a supporter. We appreciate you. And then she confirmed that the name of her candle company that she works for does a lot of a little bit of everything. I think she might be the master media there, too. I'm not for sure. Who knows? She does a lot with them, though. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We appreciate her for all she does, okay? She said, it's you, like the female sheep, spelled E-W-E, which... like, I feel like there's way better ways to tell me how to pronounce it, but, like, that's, like, where the name came from. But I didn't know that the fucking female sheep is called a U. I didn't know these things, man. So I was like, so it's pronounced U, like, as in, like, the tree? And she's like, how do you know a U tree, but not a sheep, a female sheep name? I was like, I barely call them sheep. That's, if we're being honest. Like, moving on. A comment about the, Turkey/Syria earthquake. She said, seeing unsolicited videos of dead children being pulled from the rubble in Turkey has 100% haunted my dreams. Yeah, I fucking bet. I'm assuming she meant to say but this might have been a talk to text. I in the part of pregnancy where dreams are scary, vivid, and real, and I can't unsee that shit. Yeah, I fucking bet. I understand algorithms can't catch everything and flag it for sensitivity, but damn, that shit literally haunts me right now. Yeah, weird. I mean, it's almost like your brain has naturally evolved to not want to see dead humans. But I agree. Any kind of dead, especially children. Yeah, it's rough. I've seen videos of like animals too, like mass. I saw a video one time in the deep crevices of the internet where they were throwing dogs into a meat plant. So it's just dead bodies of dogs just getting tossed into there. And I think about that more often than I should, but it depresses me. So it's not in a good way. But yeah, I'm right there with you, Kyle. It's fine. She says, also, Levi, I've never watched Yellowstone. However surprising that might be with the sideways laughing emoji, which is because we give her shit because she's always like, I don't watch movies, I read the synopsis, and that's about it. I'm like, okay. She said, but Yellowstone National Park is an absolute delight. We went on our honeymoon there. True. I have family that live north of Yellowstone, and every time we go there, I'm like, God, this place is fucking awesome. She went on to say that she ruined Supernatural one time for her friend Mitch because he had made her angry, and she had read ahead a lot in the series specifically to ruin it for him, which is fucking rude, first of all. Yeah, and Supernatural's crazy long, too. She says, I could never handle a long series for seasons. Yeah, it's like 18 seasons long or some shit, and they're long seasons, too. It's not like 10 episodes. It's like 20 episodes per season. It's crazy. And then her final comment, which cracked me up, says, in reference to Leonardo DiCaprio, she said, I would call Leo daddy so fast. My number one famous crush for my entire life, and he's gotten hotter with age. The finest of wine. The little Italian emoji. Also puts his money and influence where his mouth is in terms of conservation of forests and animals. I respect him for that. It's too bad you're too old for him. But you were in a movie with him. Kylie has a slight resemblance to Jennifer Lawrence, or at least Jennifer Lawrence's character in Don't Look Up. I think there's just one point where I'm like, that kind of looks like Kyle, because she dyes her hair a lot sometimes too. So I was like, oh shit. So now she's in my Snapchat as K-Law instead of J-Law. But yeah, I guess I mean, I understand that Leonardo DiCaprio is a handsome man. I think he was more handsome before he got older, but here he is. All right. The last comment of the YouTube vid. The third season of You just... Oh, this is from Morgan, sorry. The third season of You just came out. Have either of you guys watched it? If so, thoughts? First thought, I always think of the Laura Ingraham video where this guy is on her show and talking to her about this show. He's like, yeah, I've been watching You on Netflix a lot lately, and she's like, I don't have a show on Netflix. Like, I'm not on Netflix. Am I on Netflix? I don't think I'm on. And he's like, no, there's a show called You on Netflix, and there's no show called Laura Ingraham on Netflix, and like just complete flabbergasted by this concept that there could be a show called You and not be about her because she's a fucking narcissistic piece of shit. Quote me on it. So just that exchange, I'm like, you guys are fucking dumb. Like, this is people ask me why Fox News has never been any kind of like legitimate news thing, and then I'll point to videos like that. Like, that's garbage television. It's so stupid. Like, how does that even happen? Anyway, the show You, Y-O-U, not E-W-E, on Netflix about a creepy dude. I mean, that's the synopsis, right? He gets obsessed with these girls. He's a little bit of a murderer. Yeah, I think I finished season 3 already. Now I'm kind of wondering because they had talked about season 4, but I think they're doing it in parts, right? So I enjoy the show. I don't want to talk too much about it and be a spoiler boy, but, oh yeah, 4 seasons. Shit, yeah, man. Yeah, the first part of season 4 came out, and I did finish season 3 like last week. It'd been a while since I watched it. I enjoyed the first 2 seasons. I kind of burned through them, and then I forgot that it existed, honestly. There's just so much content out. And yeah, so I came back to it, and I enjoy it. I think the writing is very well done. I also it follows a lot of different tropes where, there's a lot of Deus Ex Machina, like these random events that just seemingly manage to just pull him out of the situation. And I think a lot of people would call that lazy, but I think the way that they manage to do it in a lot of shows, I think is fun. So I don't hate on that trope, but yeah, I like that show. I need to watch the part 1 of season 4, but I think that the language that it uses, like, it's very flowery. Like, he's a book guy. Like, he's obsessed with books in the show. So it's, you get a lot of flowery language that I don't necessarily use, but I appreciate. So if there's any more shows out there that are like that, please point me in the direction because I like it. I watched this horror movie as, like, something Pretty Things That Hide in the Dark or some shit. I don't know. I watched it on Netflix, and it wasn't really that scary, but the language, like, I feel like it was probably a book, and it seemed like they just one for one the narration from the book, because it had a good flow, good language. Anyway, this is what happens when a dumb guy talks about smart stuff. You see, I don't know the words to convey how I actually feel and what I was experiencing. This is why I watch YouTube reaction videos, because I need an expert to tell me what I'm thinking about something at any point in time. Gotten really into the like, there's vocal coach reactions and different things, like different experts reacting about certain things. So I get really into like the GQ or Wired, like real life FBI agent breaks down these scenes in movies, and like they talk about the reality of them, and I like those videos. And then also like expert, like professional singers. There's the Charismatic Voice I watch a lot on YouTube. Love that lady. Anyway, she's a trained professional opera singer, and then she breaks down, like she does requests on like Patreon and things like that. And she like she listens to a lot of metal. She loves metal now, which is hilarious, and also not surprising. But having her react to certain things, I think, is really cool, because she's got this trained classic musical trained brain that can pick up on these different things that a lot of bands do that people don't really know about, myself included. Like, there's a lot of things where I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. So I recommend giving her a shout out, or not a shout out, but shout out, no free shout outs. No, go check her out on the YouTubes, and you gotta watch her react to whatever. There's a lot of shit on her page, but I like it because it's kind of like she reacts to things she's never listened to before, for the most part. There's been a couple times where she's listened to it, but then, she makes it clear, like, I did listen to it, but it's been a while, or I didn't listen to it for this reason. Like, I didn't put that effort into it, so I'm going to pick up on more things now. So it's almost like you're experiencing a song for the first time again. So there's a couple songs that I really love that she did. That's the good feeling. That's the good stuff right there. But anyway, enough about me and my rambling. You guys want to talk about some stuff? Huh? I would like to talk to you all about it's either the Bader or the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. And if you are unfamiliar with this, because I didn't know the name, but I knew that this existed, right? So the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon refers to the false impression that something happens more frequently than it actually does. Now, I like to call this the Grand Theft Auto phenomenon when it comes to cars, because in the early Grand Theft Auto game, when you would steal a car, or like when you would be driving a car, something in the programming of that game made those cars pop up a lot from other people. So like, you're driving the fake Ferrari, like the Grand Theft Auto Ferrari, and you don't want a blue one, you want a white one, and then one drives by, and you're like, shit, and then another one drives, and they just keep coming by, so you can just get out and get whatever car you want. So that's why I call it the Grand Theft Auto effect, because you're driving that car, and then you see it everywhere, but it's also, say you're buying a car in real life, and you go, yeah, I'm gonna buy a Chrysler Town and Country van, whatever. Just picking a random one. But like, when you start investigating into something that you're going to make a big purchase on, that's not like a house, you see that shit everywhere. Like, if you're getting ready to make a big purchase on like a certain type of I don't know, ATV, or like, you're gonna see more things about it, and it's not really on the internet, because that's kind of skewed, where like you Google something, and then that, like, since you Google it, it's gonna be fucking everywhere, because things are crazy online. But like, in your private life, you go, oh man, I'm gonna buy a Ford Escape, and then you see them everywhere. Or I'm really looking at Corvettes. Corvettes all over the place now. And so you're learning, or this phenomenon is more attributed to learning about something and then seeing it everywhere. So you might remember last year when every single chicken farm on the United States was on fire, or food production facilities were all on fire. And then I was like, well, it's not that they're more on fire, it's just that it's in the news cycle. So now people think it's happening more often than it actually is, but it's because you're paying more attention to it, right? So what in the last, 3 weeks, what few things have we been paying attention to that now all of a sudden there's so much focus on it? Is it A, flying balloons, B, train derailments, C, toothbrush, and D, both A and B? That is correct. It is D. I mean, it'd be crazy if everybody was paying attention to toothbrushes right now. I mean, I guess there are weirder things to think about. But yeah, so the train derailments. You get you have the major one in East Palestine, Ohio, right? With the God, there's a lot of chemicals involved, but the biggest one is like the one that is used to make PVC, right? The plastic chemical stuff. So they had this train wreck, and then this shit's just leaking out all over the place. And there's a fire. So do you let the train explode? Or do you try and do what you can to, to make it a little less of an aggressive thing, right? So vinyl chloride, that's what it is. So you have this happening where this train wrecks is a big thing. It's dangerous. The chemical's dangerous. If it leaks in the groundwater, it's super dangerous. But if you burn it off, it's also dangerous. So they're kind of split into this weird category where they don't know what to do. So they elect to burn it because that's the least, like, creating a smog from this thing is the least harmful way to do it. Now, there is still some leakage that happened in the groundwater, which is great because it's right by the Ohio River. So, and I don't know if you've seen a map, but the Ohio River kind of feeds into a lot of the South. And I saw this infograph one time, and it's the U.S. State by state life expectancy. And for some reason, everything downstream from the Ohio River is way lower than everything else. And it's almost like, in Ohio, they make a lot of chemicals and they produce a lot of things. And a lot of that runoff goes into the water. So, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but not great. So this adding to that, also not great. But now we're seeing train derailments all over the place. Oh my God, there's just so many trains getting derailed. I mean, there's been 3 this month alone, which seems high when you're thinking about it. But then you got to think, we don't fucking know about trains because we don't work with them, right? Like, I don't work on trains. You don't work on trains. There might be somebody listening that does, but I doubt it. How many trains do you think get derailed every year? On average, just shoot out a number. All right, so here's the thing. In 2021, there was 1,087 train derailments. From 1990 until 2021, there was an average of 1,700 train derailments per year. So, yeah, I mean, it happens, and usually it's pretty small potatoes. Usually it's a fucking grain car train, and that's what a couple of these were. I saw one where, oh my God, this train is derailed and all the cars are sideways. And then you look at the picture and it's just grain cars. You're like, cool, guess you gotta sweep that shit up, dude. Like, but not everybody knows that. Not everybody knows about the different types of cars. So expand that thought process. Not everybody knows about those cars, which means there's more people who don't know about the more intricate parts of trains, except for like those weird dads who are like super into trains, got their model train sets and shit. I never really understood that, but also, I have an unfinished Lego set on my coffee table. So it's, I get it. Everybody's got their weird shit, man. Anyway, so yes, the East Palestine chemical spills, not great, but don't let it be a catalyst for freaking out about things that already happen. I mean, obviously too often, but it's not, I don't know. I don't think it's as big as people are trying to, like, the more derailments. The East Palestine thing's not, but according to many engineering posts that I read on Reddit lately, this is the easiest way to deal with it. So, or the best way, not the easiest, but the best way. So, whatever. I mean, maybe they're lying about it. What are we going to do about it, though? Like, they fucking fooled us, and then I only got to live to 78 instead of 82, Luckily for me, none of my water comes from Ohio. So, also be checking your Nestle products, because that's in that area. So, maybe stay off the chocolate, or only eat old chocolate. Good to me. This next story came in from the master of media herself. Now, the story is a little old. It's from November, but I haven't seen it and it cracks me the fuck up. So, in Thailand, a Buddhist temple has been cleared of all of its monks. And you might go, well, did they did they finally reach their enlightenment and just disappear from the earth? No, not really. They were defrocked after they had all failed drug tests, and they failed because they had some meth in their system, which is pretty fucking funny. Where, I mean, you get, so basically it was on speed because they say meth pills, but how fucking hilarious. This monk, these tranquil beings where they're just, searching for enlightenment, they're trying to find inner peace, a lot of meditation, a lot of cool shit, a lot of cool robes, a lot of meth. Fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So the monks were defrocked and the whole temple wiped out, and so they have to send other monks from different places to kind of hold that temple. I guess I don't really understand, other than a security issue, why you couldn't just leave the temple empty, but I guess if Temple A has way too many people, send a couple over to Temple B since there's nobody over there. But pretty friggin' hilarious. They were all sent to rehabilitation, so good for them. I feel like they're gonna do great there. If I had to pick somebody who would be good at rehabilitation, I feel like a monk would just be great, killing it at rehab. So yeah. That's, they were taking, meth pills called Yaba, which sell for less than 20 baht, which is around 50 cents per pill. So, pretty cheap. I mean, I guess I don't know what the strength is or what the price breakdown is for, regular meth. If you could get, one hit worth of meth, how much that costs. I feel like it's going to be more than $1, though, right? Or more than 50 cents. Anyway, that's pretty cool. At least the monks know how to fuck apart. Some sad news on the TV front. Law and Order SVU fans will know this, but anybody who doesn't, Richard Belzer, who played, what was his dude's name? John Munch, yeah. Played John Munch on Law and Order SVU, has passed away at the age of 78. That's a long time. I mean, he's always kind of looked old, so I guess I'd never really thought about how old he actually was. But yeah, he what a timeless kind of icon. He's one of the few people where you can look at him and go, oh yeah, fucking Law and Order, dude. Because he just was involved for so long. But yeah, anyway, Richard Belzer, R.I.P. It's gonna be sad. Jimmy Carter has entered hospice care. So, I mean, that you pretty much know what that means. You don't enter hospice care because you're getting ready to run a marathon. Unfortunate. The 98-year-old former president made his decision to avoid additional medical intervention and has gone into hospice care. He had melanoma announced that he was being treated for melanoma in 2015, had a chunk of his liver removed, then, they were like, all right, you're good, and then in 2019, after George Herbert Walker Bush, George W.'s daddy, died at 94, Carter became the longest living former president in U.S. history, and then he kind of just hung out in Georgia after, with COVID and everything. And then there's that weird picture where Biden, Jill, and Joe go to the Carter's house, and they just look massive in comparison. I don't know how the fuck they did that. I'm still mind blown. If you haven't seen this picture, I'll put it in the thumbnail for this week's episode. But they look like just the tiniest people. And it's gotta be a forced perspective kind of thing. But anyway, pretty cool. So yeah, Jimmy Carter, elected in 1976, served 1 4-year term, and then lost re-election to Ronald Reagan in 1980. Fuck that guy. And then after losing that, he just dove into philanthropic work. If you've seen any picture of him in the last 20 years, he's been doing the Habitat for Humanity houses, straight up building them. He's out there swinging hammers and shit, being a badass. So yeah, anyway, also in conjunction with that, the U.S. Naval Academy announced that a building had been named after President Jimmy Carter, who was a graduate from the Naval Academy. And also, bet you didn't know this, he was a nuclear engineer. He worked on the nuclear plants in, I don't know if it was only, like, I don't know what ships he worked, but he worked on them. And so when, like, the 3 Mile Island disaster happened, he was like, he went in and was like, you guys gotta fucking get your shit together. Not really, but I wish he would have said that. That would have been fucking hilarious. Yeah. Anyway, the building was previously Maury Hall, named in the early 1900s after Matthew Fontaine Maury, a naval officer and scientist who, you guessed it, was a Confederate naval officer. So I think that's a pretty good renaming. I mean, Jimmy Carter. Hey, is that the last president we had that was in the Naval Academy? I know JFK was in the Navy, but I don't remember where or what the specific, but anyway, pretty freaking cool that they did that. You know, there's a lot of people that probably were like, fuck that guy. Fuck Jimmy Carter and his peanut farm. We don't give a shit. Don't take away our Confederate history, man. So those people are dumb, but it's okay. I didn't see it. Kylie sent it to me the other day, but it was a law school on the East Coast had decided they were gonna be renaming themselves into like a typical like University of whatever blah blah law school from a different name. I can't remember the name now. I'm blanking on it. But the one of the great grandson of this guy who donated all this money was like, well, gonna pay us back our $3 billion now. And like the reason they changed it because they were like, oh, turns out that guy was a slave owner, so we're going to try and move away from that. And I was like, is that guy going to donate all of that $3 billion to the descendants of the slaves that he owned? Or I guess that guy was planning on doing something charity related, but I fucking doubt it. Oh, you got $3 billion and then you donate it all to charity? That's got to be a sick ass tax return, right? Anyway, dude, as if people weren't freaked out by Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates enough right now, there's a lab called Synchron. It's like a tech startup, right? And they are working to make a brain interface system, so brain computer interface, and they are trying to, it's kind of like the Neuralink that Elon Musk is trying to do, right? But this is, a different version. Now, there's a lot of cool things, possibilities with this, but the fucking CNBC used like the most clickbaity title on the planet. Check this out. Brain implant startup backed by Bezos and Gates is testing mind-controlled computing on human. Now, the mind-controlled part is, I think, the clickbaity thing. Like, you're going to use your brain to control this computer, sure. But the way that they fucking made it sound is that this computer is gonna control your brain, and Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos they're gonna own your brain. Your brain's theirs now. And like, they don't need any more bad press. Like, I feel like they got that market kind of cornered a little bit, but it is what it is. Yeah. So anyway, that's cool. I don't fucking know. I get it. Like, in certain situations, you're gonna stimulate certain parts of the brain and like prevent one thing, or enable, I don't know. The brains creep me the fuck out, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't like knowing that it does that much, and also I don't like knowing that you can fuck with it to make it do other things. Don't like any of that at all. Like, when their video of like, oh, we had this guy listen to Beethoven in this MRI machine, and this is all the electricity in different parts. Don't care. Don't want to know. Don't tell me. Tell that to somebody else. Like, no, creepy. And I can't even explain why. Like, I don't have a real rational reason, but I know it weirds me out. So, it's like the people that don't like donating blood. They're like, ooh, no, like, don't fuck with my brains. Just leave me alone. I got enough problems. My brain's fucked with enough, dude. I'm riddled with ADHD. You got a touch of the tism. I got anxiety out the wazoo. I don't need you in there with your little robots. Okay. Anyways, that was ridiculous. So, what else we got? Well, nothing great. There's an update. If you remember, a couple months ago, we did a story about child labor at these slaughterhouse cleaning services, sanitation companies around the country. And then, I was talking about the ones that were in Nebraska that I knew about. The Department of Labor has announced that they found that 102 children as young as 13 were working in these places. So it's not, I can't remember how many. They just said that there was children as young as 13, but that's a lot. 102 working hazardous overnight jobs, cleaning slaughterhouses in 8 states. So not great. Packers Sanitation Services. Not great at all. Yeah. So I think it's time for the Billboard 200. Gotta do it for little Shaney boy. Number 1, SOS, SZA. Number 2, Midnights by Taylor Swift. Number 3, The Name Chapter, Temptation EP, Tomorrow X Together. Number 4, Dangerous Double Album by Morgan Wallen. 5, Heroes and Villains, Metro Boomin. 6, Highlights by The Weeknd. 7, Un Vierno Sin Ti by Bad Bunny. 8, Her Loss by Drake and 21 Savage. 9, Harry's House, Harry Styles. And holy fucking shit, let's go, girls. Number 10, Queen of Me, Shania Twain. Fucking yeah. The Queen's back. I just added, Man, I Feel Like a Woman on my workout playlist, because nothing makes me want to fuck people up more than Shania Twain telling me I'm a badass. You know what I'm saying? She just gets me ready to go, ready to just, I don't know, do a lot of cool stuff, but... That's pretty cool. I didn't know she had an album coming out, and I'm excited about it. Gonna go listen to it on my way to school. So, yeah, so that's it. I want to thank our friends, the Dutch in Denver podcast, Kicking It with the Kellys, Remedy Room, and the No New Friends podcast. If you would like to find those, they're in the link tree that I mentioned at the beginning of the show. If you made it this far without going to the link tree, click the link in the description, or just go to linktr.ee/WOKPOD walkpod. Yeah, and yeah, that's it. I've had enough. Peace out, bitches.